Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to ESL One Katowice. We're having some fun here in the studio, and I hope that you're having fun at home as well, as we are getting ready to hop into our next series. We have these wonderful shots from Poland, those apartment buildings that confound the mind.
Wait, they're repeating shots, Lacoste.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
I noticed.
This is what happens, man. Oh, those.
Why do you have to ruin it?
I know.
You said that they weren't.
They weren't.
You lied
on the
to
first
me.
2 days. No, it was true. You can ask the production. Production is true.
They
Yeah,
know.
thank you.
They let us know. Well, they also let us know some other things. We have a wonderful match that's coming up next. That's the big thing that they let us know, and it's going to be NIP versus Fnatic. Base Kip, which it says right there. Lacoste, which is said right there as well. How you two doing?
I'm doing well. Today's going great. The tricasts are fun.
Yeah.
We have a slightly shorter day as well, so it'll be high energy. I feel like all of us we came in on the first day a little bit sick. People are a little bit jet lagged. I'm feeling fresh-faced today. I'm excited.
Yeah, and you're going to go back home, be jet lagged again for another 3 days.
Is that Matt Mercer on that coffee cup?
I don't know who that is. It might be.
I think it is.
Well,
all right.
don't worry. Everything is
Oh,
fine.
no, it's not. Never mind.
I thought that it was just going to be a plain old like ESL logo cup. It's
probably just somebody who works here.
Yeah, I'm sure. So that guy's getting some free publicity, but we are going to eventually have a match as we bring it all back home again. And I am so excited. I think that this is probably the match that could be most exciting today. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think this could be, well, our winner bracket match, which we don't know what it's going to be yet, because it depends on the outcome of this series. Could also be pretty darn hype. So the situation right now is Fnatic are at the top of the group. They're 7-1. NIP are 5-3. So if it does happen that NIP 2-0 here, then they would actually take #1 in the group, and they would avoid having to play against Secret. But not only that, NIP are also playing to even be in the top half because they're competing against Chaos, who are also tied with them. So really important match. And I think the level of Dota should be pretty good, though Lacoste is skeptical of NIP, and so am I. We got to see which NIP turns up.
Yeah, NIP showed that they can play really awesome Dota and that they can look really disoriented, what they need to do in-game. But Fnatic is going to be tough opponent to crack for sure. Fnatic looked one of the better teams in tournament so far. Picks are on point, and they have 4 players who can actually carry them into the late game.
Yeah.
DJ, he kind of reminds me of Team Secret, the way they're playing. They're prioritizing Yapsor's farm, offlaner moves to make a lot of space, and DJ gets a ton of items.
Well, let's take a look at that Fnatic lineup right now, because as you said, there are 4 of them that are really at any given point owning and able to completely carry the game. But then they also have Jabs on there who can kind of be...
If you watch Jabs play Winter Wyvern, that man can also carry games.
It's true.
He actually owns on that hero. If you give him a good game where Winter Wyvern is actually going to have a big impact, he can also really do some work.
Fun fact, Winter Wyvern 6 times picked, all 6 games won in this tournament.
Hey.
There you go. I don't know how many of those are Jabs. I'd imagine that's a couple of them.
Well, it seems like it's also fitting really well with like the BKB cores that we've been talking about with the Juggernaut, the Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Winter Wyvern kind of owns those heroes. And then like at other times we're seeing PAs or other sort of heavy physical damage heroes. And if you run Wyvern into that, it also looks pretty nifty.
Yeah, it's also a good setup for some of the other heroes that we've been seeing. If you have like a Pango and a Winter Wyvern, and then you get a good Winter's Curse off, and that just sets up for a perfect Rolling Thunder. You can pick your angle, you can do everything.
Yeah, if you go from northeast, it deals way more damage.
Exactly. The other thing I really like about Fnatic is they seem to know what they know what they want in the draft. NIP have been drafting a couple of different things. They've picked a few here. Like I think the hero that they've picked the most, they picked like 3 times, and everything else is like 1 or 2 picks here and there. Fnatic, the priorities are really clear. They really want Elder Titan. They really want the Shadow Shaman. They know what they want from the supports, and they're really making it work. So
yeah, they're picking supports that have Disable. They have stuns, so it's easy to play this kind of a lineup. I just hope that NIP is not going to do mistakes that they did yesterday, have Enchantress, Keeper of the Light. Even though they won that game, they had a really hard time trying to start a fight with these 2 heroes. And I just hope they stay away from Faceless Void. They did not look good with Faceless Void. I think they need to have a different approach.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Was that you take a look at that series as a whole, and I felt like it was NIP that were playing against Aster. This is the team they're supposed to be stomping right now, right? And it was not really happening. They're making it hard on themselves. And then in the second series, when they were playing around Fada, it felt like that was the recipe for success. Let's give this guy a hero that he can carry on. That Night Stalker looked amazing. And as you were mentioning, Baseskip earlier, the Timber Saw also.
Yeah, the Timber game was also really good.
Even though they lost it, it still looked good.
It wasn't. I don't think that game was Fada's fault at all.
That the buyback was rough. And we'll leave it at that. But we do also have the NIP lineup, which we can take a quick little look at since we've been talking so much about them. And I think PPD, the thing that stands out to me about him as a player is that I think he's gotten better. Like the drafting side of things is remaining consistent, I would say, to some extent. He's probably not as good of a drafter now because he doesn't have as many amazing players to play around as he did in the olden days. But his like individual play, he's playing on heroes that are a little bit higher skill capped. It's no longer just Tree.
Yeah, and we can see him getting way more items on this hero. If you watch one of those games that he played yesterday on Nature's Prophet, he has more farm than Saksa at one point. He has Shadow Blade, actually full Silver Edge on Nature's Prophet, the Necro Book 1, so he tends to get a lot of farm.
Yeah, and even on like we do still see some people playing like hard position 6, but the game in general has moved away from that a little bit more, right? Like even though your supports aren't going to have that much compared to the cores, you're still going to have 1 or 1.5 items at like 15, 20 minutes, right? There's still plays that you need to make with Glimmer Cape or Force Staff. The days are completely gone of supports running around with like boots and 2 bracers at 45 minutes into the game. That's just not a thing.
Let's get into the draft. The draft just started.
Sounds good.
Elder Titan banned out from NIP. Fnatic tends to first phase DJ's hero. If it's he played a lot of Shadow Shaman, he played a lot of Elder Titan in this tournament so far. No surprise that Elder Titan is banned out. Let me tell you a story. Don't pick Grimstroke, don't pick Sven.
Tell me the
Sven
story.
has 12 games, 8% win rate. Like, this hero is garbage. I don't know why teams are picking. I still think Grimstroke is even worse. Like, this hero just doesn't feel playable to me. I can't believe it got picked 8 times.
He just doesn't kill anybody anymore, right? Like the other, I think when the hero came out, the other parts of his kit were so strong, and people weren't even really playing for his ultimate at all. And then people started playing for his kit and his ultimate, and he looked way too strong. And now he's gotten nerfed, and some people are still trying to play him for his ult, but his other spells just don't really do enough. I feel like when Grimstroke first came out, Inkswell was just killing people in lane again and again and again. We were seeing the Grimstroke Weaver, Grimstroke Centaur, that kind of stuff. And that's just not happening anymore. This hero doesn't have that same kill potential that he once did.
I'm wondering if Fnatic is going to open up with Shadow Shaman Juggernaut, give MP his comfortable hero, have that disabled. The lane is strong if they decide to lane it together.
It almost feels like NIP is baiting them into it. Like, if you look at the Fnatic games, you know that that's what they like to play. But instead, they're going to go for a different opener, the Ice 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 Pango, and they're still going to stick with the Shadow Shaman. So delaying MP's hero.
Okay. They could also, we've seen Pangolier on more lanes than just off lane as well this tournament, so maybe keeping their options open. Though I don't know if Abed really plays a whole lot of Pangolier. That's not really Fnatic's style necessarily either. And as much as it seems like NIP, they are expecting this Shadow Shaman pick, how much can you actually counterpick Shadow Shaman? It's like, it's going to be the position for, if you waste too much time worrying about Shadow Shaman, then I think you're going to get distracted from Fnatic's cores.
Yeah, you should not pick like that. You need to have a well-rounded draft and try to counter the cores on their side. You can't really just, oh, we're going to counter Chen.
Maybe like they have, they could go for some type of save. Would be a good thing, at least, as it, not necessarily counter, but a way to deal with what Shadow Shaman brings to the table.
Are we going to see the support Batrider again?
It feels like it. They've been playing it mostly as position 4. We saw Aster also playing it as 4, even though I didn't like the build that Saksa went yesterday on a Batrider bottle, Boots of Travel into Blink Dagger. It feels like you can't really afford to go for Boots of Travel first item as position 4. And most of the time you're going to be on a different side of the map since you have that item you want to farm, you want to use the Firefly, and when the fight occurs, you're not going to have it to actually enter the battle with it.
So since Fnatic did not take that Juggernaut in the first phase, it will be banned out afterwards. Lone Druid also going to be taken out of the pool, which is what both Ace and 3-3 play pretty efficiently.
Okay, so carry options now are still okay. I mean, carry pools become a little bit more limited. There's still Ursa in the pool, though it doesn't necessarily look great for either team. There's a Terrorblade. We haven't really seen a whole lot of that hero. We've seen a little bit of Phantom Lancer if Fnatic want the kind of anti-Batrider carry, something with a Dispel.
Fnatic, they want to get Weaver. That's MP's hero.
Sure.
It's great against Batrider. We saw yesterday the exact same matchup when NIP was playing against Chaos.
Yeah, they don't have stuns just yet either. He can just run at the Chen, too. Just get in the back line, just punch him to death. It only takes a few seconds.
And a lot of the good control that you would have for Weaver tends to be out of the same type of position that Chen plays in the support. Like,
Yeah. Lion, Shadow Shaman.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Batrider is extremely good against Shadow Shaman, even Pango, because he can't do what he tends to do in the laning phase. Slow turn rate on both of these heroes.
I wonder with these guys if you could think about building towards an Abed Meepo for Fnatic.
It's always a threat, for sure.
Yeah, it's always up their sleeve.
Especially because NIP doesn't have good heroes against it at the start here.
Also, we see more and more Legion commanders as a counter whenever Batrider is being picked, because it completely shuts down the hero. With a strong Dispel, you can get rid of the lasso, get rid of sticky napalm charges. Not necessarily good for Fnatic, considering the Pango is already in their lineup.
God, do you remember that game that Ice had the other day? He got the Javelin at 3 minutes.
I remember.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah, that was nuts. Well, it was like first blood double kill or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was too much.
And then he's just kind of Javelin in lane and is proccing on you with Swashbuckle. It's like, what the hell do you do?
Fnatic really taking their time on this ban. This is important, though. They've got a ban into a pick, so this is sort of the last turning point that they have for this draft up until the very last pick. So do have to make sure that they ban the right thing.
I just did a quick check to make sure nobody's DC'd.
Yeah. We mentioned as well the Meepo potential for Fnatic, but I guess what could also be NIP.
Yeah.
Probably not as much, and I still feel like Abed is probably the best Meepo player. Full stop. But could happen. And Timbersaw is the ban. That's fair enough. Fnatic don't necessarily have great ways to deal with it. And if they want to have the option open of playing the Pangolier on the mid lane, we saw that he just does not want to play against Timbersaw at all.
So this is the interesting thing, though, is you think back to that game yesterday against Chaos, and it was a Fata Night Stalker last pick. I think if NIP wanted to run that here, they would have to take it in this next phase. Because I don't think it would make it through to the final phase.
This Lich pick is interesting. Are they just fishing for more information before they go for the Weaver? Like, if they picked Weaver, would NIP go for the Void? Like, what would happen in that situation?
I think it's just their comfort pick. They picked Lich in 5 of their games, if I'm not mistaken. Lich got a little bit of nerf, but still a very strong hero. Yeah.
It was like some move speed and a little bit of Sinister Gaze duration, I think.
And as far as like the decision of Lich over Weaver at this point in the game, I think it's probably because you don't think NIP is going to take it too. They're going to take the Lycan instead, which does provide some kind of funky ones. I don't know, how does Weaver versus Lycan sort of square off? Because it takes a while for Weaver to come online, and Lycan sort of puts the pressure on early.
Not necessarily. Weaver can fight really early. She doesn't need that many items, and they have no lockdown. So far, I still think that they should go for Weaver.
5 seconds.
Yeah, the heads-up matchup is not that interesting, other than talking about like the tower pressure, because they're both just so fast. They're never really. If one of them has the clear advantage, they're not going to be able to force a man fight on the other. And oh my God, it's Fnatic taking the Faceless Void. Okay. They've got pretty good damage to put into the Chronosphere, but I was not convinced by this hero when we saw it yesterday.
They have no lockdown. It's a pretty same concept, and their damage is static, so Faceless Void for now can use Time Walk efficiently. They need to get some kind of a stun silence for this Faceless Void.
Hypothetically, they could swap this too and have mid Pango with Ice playing the Void.
Yeah. The Night Stalker pick is nice here. You called it out already, Lurkles. Good choice, run at the supports. We saw how difficult it is for Pangolier to play against. Another silence that's going to be good for the Void. Fnatic are desperately going to need some 4 stabs and stuff this game.
10 seconds remaining.
So that does probably mean that the Batrider
5
is
seconds remaining.
support, though we were thinking that from the beginning of the draft. Anyway.
You know, I'm starting to see this Night Stalker creep first its last pick, and now they're taking its second phase. Like, I'm wondering...
This is such a good Night Stalker game.
That's true.
Though. It's like...
Yeah.
I do think he's rising up the ranks a little bit, but I don't think he's going to go any further than this, because he is sort of a reactionary pick in some ways. You need to see at least a few enemy heroes before you commit for the Night Stalker.
And this is going to be a good game to see how well it does against Fnatic, because this would hypothetically be one of the better games for him. So the Kunkka's going to be banned out by Fnatic, and it will be NIP that have to pick first in what we're expecting to be their mid lane hero. And again, I like the idea of it being fought on a side lane with this Night Stalker.
10 seconds
which
remaining.
does maybe limit the heroes that NIP can go for. Probably an
5
Ace Lycan. I guess
remaining.
3-3 could take the Lycan too.
Yeah, they could put the Lycan... One of them could take the Lycan mid as well, if they would prefer a side lane hero to round out the lineup. So they've got options.
I feel like Fnatic needs a little bit of save mechanism. OD sounds like a good pick. A lot of damage in Chrono. Depends what NIP is gonna last pick.
Radiant team.
Or if they watched Team Secret, maybe it's Viper time.
Hey. You love that hero.
Okay, so Meepo gets banned. I don't even know if Meepo would have been that good with Fnatic's lineup, but NIP not going to risk anything. The Meepo is certainly good against Lycan.
10 seconds remaining.
And maybe even whatever they're thinking about last picking here.
5 seconds
This is a game
remaining.
where, like, I think even like an Ember could actually be pretty good for NIP here. It fits into their lineup in kind of a weird way, but this is a game where Searing Chains, and especially the Searing Chains talent, are crazy strong. But that's a route as well.
I like the idea of Void just going off lane now and going like Shadow Blade, killing Puck.
That's another silence. NIP's lineup looking really strong with these 2 picks. Night Stalker is gonna shut down a couple of the heroes on Fnatic's side. We saw how efficient is yesterday against
10
Pango.
seconds remaining.
I don't know how
5 seconds
Fnatic
remaining.
solve this now.
They could grab a Dragon Knight as well if they want to. Yeah.
It's fine, but that's all it is. It's just kind of fine.
They just needed a hero that can be the frontliner, that has 1 more stun against the Puck, puts a lot of pressure on the towers, doesn't lose his lane, isn't really affected when Lycan and Night Stalker rush, and he's the one who could be controlling them on top of Faceless Void.
They needed some frontline as well, because Void doesn't necessarily want to be the first one into the fight, and against this lineup, it's kind of the same situation for Ice Ice Ice. So the one thing that's really nice about the Dragon Knight is that now they have somebody to either start the fight or just be the one who walks in first to provide the vision, and then MP and Ice 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 can make their decisions about how they choose to initiate. Because if they have to go in too early, then might just get coiled or something.
Whoa, Fata Bat Rider, 3/3 Night Stalker.
Support puck?
Interesting.
That's weird.
Okay, well, before we talk about that too much, the other thing that I wanted to mention is it does kind of feel like, at least at the initial stages, they have some damage to throw into the Chronosphere. The Chain Frost, they're going to have, like, you know, some Aftershocks there from Shadow Shaman. But as the game goes on later and later, like Night Stalker, Lycan, these heroes are kind of beefy. Can they kill them in the duration of the Chrono? Do they need to? Do you focus on others? Where does that Chronosphere play into it? Because there's a hero in Faceless Void that's kind of run into some issues in the past.
No, I'm inclined to agree with you that they might run into a little bit of damage problems this game. Like initially they have sort of good magical burst, but the NIP heroes do tank up quite a bit as the game goes on. The thing about this, the way that they're choosing to set everything up here is that I guess they're running Batrider mid against the Dragon Knight. That sounds like is that just an unplayable matchup for DK?
Maybe they're gonna swap, put Ice Ice on mid. He has kind of an escape tool against the Batrider, but it's gonna be a bad matchup for both of them.
I kind of like the core Batrider. Support puck is a bit weird, but I think it can work here. And they're mostly just using the puck for Waning Rift and the Dream Coil this game. They don't really need him to do too much split pushing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I'm just having a bad flashbacks when I see MP on Faceless Void from CQ Major. There were some questionable choices. I feel like in general, Faceless Void is one of the hardest heroes to play because you can look so awesome if you land a good chrono, or you just look like a complete noob. Even the pro players, like, what is this guy doing? How is he playing professional Dota?
I mean, it's all or nothing, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's
like sometimes you try to catch one hero and other hero on the edge of the chrono, and this just fails completely.
Split the uprights. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a short little pause. We can still probably hop into the game, check out item builds and other things like that as we get ready to go into this. NIP facing off against Fnatic. Game number 1, a very important match for both of these teams, I would say. Fnatic just need to win a game at this point.
Yeah, just win a game.
Yeah.
Just win a game.
It's as simple as that. Just destroy their Ancient.
Yeah. Let's do it, guys. Is this little pause that we were talking about. Don't know if we already have too many interesting item builds on any of these guys, but as far as like what we expect out of the support puck, it's very, I mean, it's sort of like a little bit greedy. Is he going to go for like early initiation items? Are we going to see a Midas on this guy like everywhere else in the world?
The only thing I will say is that it doesn't feel too much greedier than a support Batrider. Okay. So it's not that much of a change up to have the puck as the support. And I think having the Batrider's core matchup here is so much better.
They needed a puck against Pango because leash mechanic against Rolling Thunder just keeps him in place, and they're gonna do what I expected. Pango is gonna be the one playing mid against Batrider because for Dragon Knight it feels really unplayable. At least he can use Swashbuckle to get away from it. Already has a Magic Stick to get some extra mana and HP from sticking up palm charges.
And in the meantime, we're gonna have to see if Fata can catch this out and understand what they're doing. Maybe they would try and rotate it afterwards. I don't really know if you can necessarily, though. They're keeping a lot of their heroes mid right now, so they might decide to swap things up if they see the lanes change at all. Always becomes an interesting mind game, although it looks like Fata's just hanging out mid now. Well, I don't know. Actually, Ace is running mid now.
30 seconds to battle.
If they change it, you just change it. That's how it works. Just keep changing it.
Just keep running.
Yep.
Well, I was casting a game like that, and then what ended up happening is they just dual laned mid. It was 2v2 mid. It was Timbersaw, Sniper, Like, it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen, but...
Oh, you haven't seen EE lane swapping. I think they swapped for around 10 minutes. They just kept swapping
Here's the thing.
lanes.
It wasn't even swapping, right? So the sniper was standing in the river, and then the other person would like motion to start moving to the other lane, and so the sniper would start running back, and then he would just keep running back and forth. It was so weird.
So they did spot Ace down bottom, and it looks like right now MP is going to head over, has his Quelling Blade already there, jabs, a full-on aggressive tri-lane, and actually as I say that, they're going to TP DJ up to the top lane. So Night Stalker versus DK, while bottom lane it's Faceless Void versus Lycan. And just going to be that Bat versus Pango mid matchup.
Yeah, I think this matchup favors Fnatic way more. You have Lich and Faceless Void. A lot of damage will be mitigated. Damage is pretty static. They really don't threaten a kill on Faceless Void. Same goes for Dragonite. Look at DJ.
3-3. The one we got to watch for is he's gun underneath the tower. The wraparound coming.
He's going to find
eat
him.
the other tree. No. Oh, just stay in the trees. Stay in the trees, buddy. And instead, they run into him. DJ turns at their shock. Gets one more punch. Does he get first blood? 3-3 getting low. DJ walks back the other direction, and they manage to find it. 3-3.
Nicely done.
Sometimes the best juke is just standing completely still, as it turns out.
That was sick.
That's very nice. Oh, the bonus HP regen synergized with the Feral Impulse.
Yeah, he's already got so much HP regen.
Yeah, it synergizes if he skills it.
Yes, when he has level 2. Now he's level 2.
Also has almost 700 gold on that Lycan. It's like, come at me, creep. I don't care about you. So Fata, 10-3. He is going to actually wrap his way up towards the top lane. So are they lane swapping now? I guess they're just going to take a little walk.
I'm pretty sure that's not a gank coming out from Batrider with no haste.
Yeah, like...
Oh, I'm walking at you. I'm walking at you.
Yeah, Ace is going to just TP mid now.
Okay.
Can't you just TP afterwards if you're Ice Ice?
I mean, you can if you want to. They can just keep this matchup for a little bit.
Okay.
If NIP are the ones constantly moving the lanes, they are going to fall behind on farm, and you can see that on the CS chart. Fnatic had the top 3 on the last hits. I don't think DK is not going to get completely obliterated by Batrider so long as they can keep the lane back, and they do have access to their pull. So
DK just deep at mid.
Okay, they just swapped it. Gotcha.
And Pango's going to walk up top. So sort of keeping the TPs available for both of those heroes, the Pango and the Batrider, while TPing with the other two. So Fata is now going to make his TP back towards mid. And the recall. Ah, this is how you do it. The recall shenanigans with Chen.
So you only have to swap with Chen.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is
right.
under attack.
I mean, if you're gonna continue swapping, the heroes are gonna get leveled, so the threat from Batrider is not gonna be that great anymore. Dragonite is level 4.
Look, I bet it's just like, I'm out of here, guys.
All right, just kill Chen right now, so he can't TP anyone.
I like this play. Divine Favor trying to get the runaway, but they will find PPD. Another punch, the shield crash, slow down. They find the kill.
That's Javelin on Pango. 4 minutes in.
Doesn't even have nearly as many kills this time around.
Well, he's a minute later, though, so that's the downside.
Just timing.
Just terrible, really.
Oh, MP hoping for some bashes there.
Such luck. But yeah, you can see the CS across the board looking pretty good for Fnatic. This is somewhat mitigated by the fact that Puck has 12 comparison to the 6 of the Shadow Shaman. Suxa sort of getting in the face of jabs here. Slowed down. 3-3 also in the area. They're trying to kill this man off, and they will kill him off. Jabs goes down. Bounty Rune battle.
Yeah, they're making a bid for 3 here. DJ's trying to contest at top.
That's really not worth it. Chen is TPing someone to the top lane. It's Batrider.
And all 4 going the way of NIP.
Nice usage of the Chen TP.
This hero is good. This hero is very good.
Yeah, they're mostly just using him for the mobility. Though I imagine we'll see some of the catapult shenanigans a little bit later. Man, that javelin is already doing some work for Ice.
But I mean, that's the thing, right? Is that mobility has sort of kept them relevant in this game and with a slight lead in spite of being behind in CS. 4 on that Lycan.
They could have also just had stronger lanes, though.
I guess that's true.
If they'd had a support other than the Chen. So that they're using it to the fullest, but we'll see now with the next couple of minutes how this goes with the catapults and whatnot.
They're forting, keeping that catapult alive up in the top lane, while looks like they're going to try and back away with the puck. And yeah, just very static after that early movement. It's nighttime now, though. Which does give 3-3 a little bit of a better time. Deny on the illusion rune, and now Ace getting hit by the proc. Ice has the ulti, running it up, and gonna be able to find himself this Lycan. This should be a kill as he gets up on the high ground, maybe?
What?
He got pushed up on the high ground with the ulti.
Can that happen?
What?
I guess apparently it can. Apparently the bounce from Rolling Thunder can actually move you. That's really weird.
Well, it knocks them back, so it makes a lot of sense if he's standing on the edge.
MP now trying to chase. They have 3-3 in their sights, but no level 6 yet. Means that they won't be able to find that kill. And level 6 is just coming online for Fnatic. Unfortunately, they weren't able to snag that kill with the Pango level 6.
I feel like having this Batrider as a core has not worked out the way that NIP were hoping that it would. Like, the big reason to put Batrider as the core is so that he can completely annihilate the lane matchup that he has. But not
Divine favor Fada. He's got all the regen in the world that he needs. But Abed moves into position, and they get the stun onto him as well. Fata, breathe fire, slow down, and they hit him right on the end of it.
Where are you watching?
Yeah, this Batrider is gonna feel like a support at this point. He has 1,000 gold, but he didn't achieve what he was supposed to achieve. Dominate the lane, deny XP and gold from enemy's mid laner. Dragonite is almost full level ahead of him right now.
Yeah. And if they just had the DK versus the Puck at mid, then they would have a fairly high level Puck that they could just use to run around and go get some Dream Coil kills, which would be really nice to have with the Night Stalker now coming online. I don't think it's that bad that NIP haven't been able to play that active. It's just the nature of Night Stalker and Lycan as heroes. They're waiting for levels and timings to really start making stuff happen, but after the way that everything played out, I think it would have been better to have they would have preferred the Puck to be a support. A core, sorry.
Faceless Void needed one more CS for level 6.
That was close. Unfortunate timing there for Fnatic. But still very even early on here. Abed's been able to get himself to the top of the net worth chart, where we often see this player. Has the Bracer, a wand, going for a Blink Dagger first. So no Midases for this man.
Thankfully.
Thankfully. Ice is burning. Careful there, buddy. Does have his ulti. I mean, he does a lot of damage with the Javelin. He's going to try and steal away some of the CS, but he's taking a lot of damage now, and one more punch. Ice!
He's dead. God. Yeah, that should not happen. He's playing way too greedy.
He could have just waited for the sticky stacks to fall off before he did that. Like,
that does not look good.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, at least he's got a sense of humor about it. So there's one thing that Ice have, it's definitely that. And, you know, he's going to run into some issues later on with this Puck, like we've been talking about.
And NIP are going to pressure tier 2 here. Fnatic have to send somebody top. Abed does have a TP scroll available, so might be him. No, it looks like Ice is rotating over. Okay. They do have fairly good deep push on Fnatic this game. Which is going to be helpful against the Lycan summons and everything else coming their way.
10 minutes in, about 1,000 gold lead for NIP.
DJ just doing his usual thing, farming a lot on Shadow Shaman.
They need that 6 to pressure the towers.
Yep.
And he's getting close to an Aether Lens, actually. Almost has it done on DJ. So smoke up now by Fnatic. That one wasn't underneath any type of ward or anything, as Abed is going to try and pressure that tier 1 tower. They have the wards here as well. How much can Fnatic get? Do they decide to maybe even push for more? As 3-3 is the only one holding on to this tower. Like you said, though, the pressure is also going to be mounted up in the top lane towards the tier 2. But they're going to TP in absolutely everybody to this one. All right, wards down already. They're pulling back in the Dragon Knight. This is a dangerous hero to try to initiate, but they get the coil onto Ice. He's ulting nothing this entire time. It doesn't look like it's going to matter, though, as the rest of Fnatic was there, and they can still find those kills and get the tower.
They don't have the damage to go on the Dragon Knight at the moment. There's just no way.
This Divine Favor Catapult, though, it's still going to work for him. And in the meantime, 3-3 trying to find this kill onto the Lich. He will be able to get it.
And they're going to get the tier 2 tower on top. Helm of the Dominator creep plus 2 wolves, 2 catapults.
It's too tough.
Dragon Knight got a lot of farm from that. He got the last hit on the tower, and he's been farming the bottom lane, so this Blink Dagger is going to come pretty soon. They're going to have a way to initiate the fight.
You know, Batrider, after that kill onto Ice, has had a hell of a time for it. I mean, these Boots of Travel, I think you talked about it being maybe a little bit greedy. I think in this game as a core, it's pretty okay. Can go for the mass up stacks now, as the Blink Dagger is soon in his sights. See how Fnatic can do with this.
I mean, this is just basically the ganker's equivalent of a Midas, pretty much. That's,
Okay.
yeah. It doesn't save you all the money on TP scrolls anymore because you do still have to buy regular TPs to have both of them available, but it's going to secure him a little bit of additional farm, and they have lots of summons that he can TP onto, so he's never too far away from the fight, which is nice. I think this set of BOTs looks better than the support set of BOTs.
Oh, for sure.
That we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
And Saxon has a lot of farm. He has mana boots. He's constantly showing out the waves. 4 points in Illusory Orb, 2 points in Vanning Rift. With mana boots, he has enough mana to spam them out. Yep. Needs only 600 gold to finish the Blink Dagger. This is where usually Winter Wyvern stands, what Puck is doing right now.
Yeah.
Abed's looking for him.
Cut through, and the wraparound coming. Hello, buddy. How you doing? Going to be able to find that stun out MP.
Wrong button, buddy. He didn't want to pop the chrono. If he misses it, then they're in a real trouble. They can't team fight mid lane. Are they gonna defend that?
They would lose 2 towers for wasted chrono.
They might lose another tower here on top of it regardless. As it's just being pushed in. Jabs is there with the Frost Armor, but PPD is brazenly just punching in the Chrono Spear, hitting on the 3 of them. Do they have any follow-up, though? The Chain Frost back and forth between the 2 of them. 3-3 trying to run away as well, as they have the Rolling Thunder through, and Ice seeing if he can chase down Fada, but it's not going to happen.
I mean, you can see Faceless Void there. What are they doing?
Did he even time walk? I think he just walked up and just chronoed them, yeah.
Well, in the meantime, they try and chase down 3-3 here, and it looks like he is just going to be able to kite away from them.
All right. Well, that's it. I mean, it was just the 2 supports dying. They do get the deny on the tower as well, so I think that was well worth it. But yeah, that was just extremely weird from NIP. They couldn't quite decide if they were willing to let the tower get denied. And I think it would have been okay if Peter had sacrificed himself to just ensure the last hit, but then everybody else was also just floating there, and it got kind of strange.
The walk-up chrono. It happens. Oh no! Ice, ice, ice. Run away, the swashbuckle. They take him down. He has had a rough game on this Pango.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like ice, ice, ice. He's making a lot of mistakes this game. Boots of travel on this Dragonite. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, Peter's on the other side of it too, and Abed will just be able to TP out. In the meantime, they're pulling in a little bit closer, 3-3.
That sucker got teleported 200 units.
Yeah, with this Boots of Travel, they can be anywhere. With Chen TPing them, they can try to outnumber Fnatic. Pango has ulti ready. They want to try to fight into Roche pit, but this Roche is going down really quickly. I don't think Fnatic can respond.
I mean, that's one of the downsides of using that Chronosphere mid, is that it's still on cooldown for this Roche fight as well. So they are going to be able to pick up Roshan on 3-3.
Big circle being drawn by 3-3 there. Guess they're imagining to just try and control that area of the map. DJ doing the same thing. Circle drawn on the bottom side.
Blink dagger done for Mr. Puck. And looks like Pango also is going to try and go for the blink. See if he can get that initiation from maybe a little bit further out. It has been a pretty continual issue for them, and DJ getting set up to drop these wards.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures.
Problem is, if Fnatic uses Chrono, if they use Shadow Shaman wards, it's gonna be tough for them to fight into different parts of the map.
And they're just heading straight up towards
they're gonna go for
tier 3.
tier 3s right now because they see that the Shadow Shaman dropped the wards.
Ice, ice, ice. Initiated on silence. He doesn't have a way out of this one right now, and it looks like NIP are going to decide to back up as the rest of Fnatic is showing to this fight.
God, they have 2 wolves, siege creep with the divine favor. They took 1,000 damage off tier 3 tower.
Yeah, and granted, it was a Fnatic tier 2 tower taken bottom, but this is still the situation that you don't want to have to give up all that damage onto the tower, particularly when the Chen can split push his catapults and such. Blink away from Abed.
What do you guys think of this Vlad's on the fifth, this Void? Like, I feel like we haven't really talked about MP's item build so much.
I feel like it's a budget. Mask of Madness still gives you some armor, even though they don't have the best right-click damage. It still gives him ability to farm the Ancients, farm the lane. He doesn't have to go heal ever.
I mean, it's just, you can't do anything on this Pango. They're going to buy back immediately, though, and try and take this fight. Chainfrost already there. They have the Sinister Gaze to pull him back and closer, and then the Shackles afterwards. But Soxa coming to save the day. Isis is trying to do what he can, and they catch 2 inside that Chronosphere. But where's the damage? Nobody is there to deal the damage at all. They catch him in the coil. Pango can't move. And NIP is just running wild at this point as MP has to run back and away. They're going to TP back in with this Bat Rider as well. And they found the silence. They found the damage because right now Fnatic do not have it. Oh, 3-3 getting low though. That's only the Aegis, an ultra kill for Ace. All of the summons. They lost the racks. And NIP get away scot-free.
How many buybacks is that? Fada bought back. 1, 2... 2 buybacks on Fnatic's side, and they couldn't even defend the Raxes. This is the downside of Faceless Void. You use a Chrono, if you pick too much team fighting abilities with the long cooldown, one of them is not ready, they're gonna use it. And NIP, they don't have any big ulti cooldowns. Even if they don't have Lasso, even if they don't have Puck ulti, they can still take a fight.
Lycan is so good at punishing this kind of lineup as well. Like, you botch one fight and Lycan is alive, and he'll just take all your buildings.
And Nightstalker is such a good hero to have the Aegis on as well, because he just keeps running in, and it's like you have to deal with him.
33 always does this. He buys all these small items like Windlace, extra bracer, drums. He bought Magic Wand 19 minutes in. I just saw it. Yeah, he's delivering it.
Gotta make use of those. You got all these inventory slots because of backpack. Should fill them with some items. Though you can't just fill all of your slots with Wraith Bands anymore. Unfortunately, that is dead. But Fnatic, to me, the biggest thing this game is at the beginning of the draft, they opted not to pick the Jug. They took the Pangolier, and it feels like Pango has just been so countered. Like the puck pick and the Night Stalker pick have made Pangolier's game so difficult.
But it's also been just some straight up misplays. Like Ice
too.
Just walking through Firefly and then dying solo to Fada.
Yeah, but I think even if Fnatic hadn't made those mistakes, I think they would still be losing this game.
Right, I agree. Just makes it that much harder for them.
Yeah.
They need to land a good Chrono plus Lich ulti, otherwise they don't have damage in Chronosphere.
The Lich ult is just getting absorbed by all the summons, though.
True.
Like, there's Catapults, there's Lycan, Wolves. The Wolves have really good magic resistance now as well, right? They have, like, no physical armor, but they have pretty good magic resistance. Yeah, 70% magic resist, is that?
That's
My
nuts.
God. So they can, like, between the two Wolves, they can absorb, what, 4, maybe 6 bounces from the Chain Frost? That's crazy.
Batrider has a Crimson Guard right now.
He's doing it. They're doing it. Who needs a Blink Dagger in this day and
If they
age?
lose this fight, this game's over.
I'll see what they can do. All of the creeps waiting nicely in a line, and 3-3, the one that gets initiated on Pawn. They try and find him. The silence is there, though. Shaman doesn't have the follow-up, the disarm, the silence, and the AoE onto all of them, and Chain Frost hitting neutrals at this point. It's chronoing absolutely everybody. That means only MP is doing the damage, and he's not doing nearly enough at all. They take down the support puck, but he's buying back and coming into this one. Pango trying to stay alive. They hit the Shrine while simultaneously bouncing around a little bit, but still, it's only been the puck that's died. They do not have enough damage right now to take down NIP. Fada might possibly go down. They're running away from him yet again. They've already lost the Shadow Shaman. They've lost the Lich. They will finally take down that Batrider, but everybody else very healthy for NIP.
Good, they're playing around wards. No one managed to kill Serpent wards. Lich ulti was really unlucky. It bounced back to the Ancients, so it dealt no damage whatsoever.
This is a nice pickup. NIP, oh my God! The walkway, they can't do it! Woo, 3-3. Almost got out of there.
See what you are up against.
Smart from Ice to immediately start
Running away,
walking away so he can get a swashbuckle out.
Oh, look at the build on Ice. Battle Fury to deal with all those summons.
That's pretty sick. I would love
If he
to
gets
see
it,
that.
it's actually going to be pretty crazy. I guess that was a good fight for Fnatic. They took it in the perfect spot. They controlled the high ground. They had 2 amazing wards, along with really nicely positioned Mass Serpent wards, and they kited, like you're saying, around the Mass Serpent wards the entire time. I was worried about their sustained damage, but Abed was able to just sit in the middle of the fight and auto-attack the entire time, and that, plus also having the Shrine, was enough to win them the fight. But that did not look easy for Fnatic at all.
It was about as good as you could hope for.
They created
definitely.
the perfect scenario for themselves.
Yeah, Faceless Void does not have enough damage yet, but Maelstrom is ready, and I like what he has queued up, BKB, so he can get rid of those 2 silences.
And they're about to have that Battle Fury done for Pango. It's coming to your pubs, ladies and gentlemen. Be prepared.
All right.
How good is this? Talk to me a little bit about the theory behind it. And
So the way that it works is that it's really, really strange in that the further back you are along the swashbuckle, the more overlapping Battle Fury cleaves you can get hit by. So if you're right at the very front,
right,
it doesn't really do anything to you.
Right.
But the further back you go, the one thing that's a little bit weird though is that if one of the early swashbuckles kills something behind it, then you don't get those additional cleaves. So it's best if it lands on like a bunch of heroes that all kind of survive the first few and you get lots of cleave damage.
Or maybe like some big tanky creeps in the front, like what Chen has, and then the heroes are behind. Interesting.
But it's really hard to position it reliably.
I'm pretty sure someone's going to say, that's wrong.
I know. I mean, that's the thing. Whenever there's mechanic things, it's people are silly. They do have the Crimson Guard here, and they also have pretty decent armor on all of NIP, so that creates some problems
Hey,
as well.
Jabs, that's not your side of the map.
I just wanted to plant wards. Remember me. He'll be back soon. It's only 30 seconds. He's still
That's
a relatively low level.
That's value space created right there. Can Ice redeem himself after a very frustrating, I'm sure, early game? They find 3-3 again. Some decent damage. The ward trap as well. With the shackles down, it's not bad. And they pull back in the Batrider as well. And there's going to be the coil, keeping him on top of the, well, Night Stalker. Actually, it's kind of worked out for them okay. And 3-3 runs back in. Will eventually die to the Chain Frost and everything else. And nobody on Fnatic has gone down yet. Meanwhile, Ace runs in his ulti, trying to take down Jabs, but the stick charge is keeping him alive, and they get the chrono right on the very edge of it. MP making the plays that his team needs, and they're actually doing it, Fnatic.
It's a good fight. The Dream Coil on the Pango ulti it didn't actually help.
No, it was like a Yule Scepter.
Yeah, it was kind of where that was exactly where he wanted to be. The fact that he just sat there and got 2 shield crashes off, that was great.
Now they have 3 Maelstroms, so they can outpush the waves quickly. Battle Fury on Pango. So it means these summons are gonna die so quickly. Night Stalker is tanky enough though.
But a lot of the Lycan's damage comes from all of his summons. So if those get cleared quickly in the fights, it's pretty scary. DK's also got his splash. So he's almost got level 18, so he's almost got the Frost Dragon too.
Mjolnir coming up for him. Oh, man.
All right. NIP.
NIP, they're running out of time.
Yeah, the clock is ticking for them. And all the little items are nice for 33 for like the early to mid game for this timing push, but it does mean that his late game impact is not going to be at the same level as, you know, some of these Midas Night Stalkers that we've seen. So they need to get some stuff done in these next couple.
They know Chrono is down for 50 seconds. They want to use that and try to grab Roche. It's Cheese and Aegis.
This is so dangerous, though. They get the lasso onto the Pango to start this fight off. What else can they get afterwards, though? The silence from 3-3, they're able to interrupt that one with the shackles being up close and personal. And what else can you find? The 3-person Dream Coil, but Ice not caught in it. Abed dropping somewhat low, and MP able to live through it as well. They get the roll through onto this Night Stalker, catching 3-3. The shield crash, not able to get it as they juke away. The 2 supports are again dead for Fnatic, and we'll see if NIP can take advantage and find a couple more kills along the way. It looks like MP might finally be going down here, and the Dragon Knight just gonna try and TP away. Does he get out? Yes, indeed, he duty.
I think they should have just let them get that Roche, farm a BKB on Faceless Void. He was 300 gold short, and then take a fight.
Their deep push is good. I think they could have held the high ground against the Aegis, or they could have at least just stalled.
I don't think Aegis is that big of a deal.
No.
The best carrier is probably going to be Night Stalker again. You do not want to have Aegis on Lycan.
It's just not useful.
I think that they were also maybe hoping to re-engage a second time with the Chronosphere, because it was about to be back up.
And then NIP did a good job. They focused Shadow Shaman before he could get any spells off.
Right.
Just killed these 2 supports, and they're going to win a team fight.
That Aghanims is done for the puck now.
Oh, that's... All right, that's scary. That's really scary for the Void, especially. Like, even once he gets this BKB, it's not going to help him.
Yeah. Although, if you just chrono him, good to go.
Yeah, I guess he can chrono the puck, but if he's used the Dream Coil already...
Right, that doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter.
So, Night Stalker has the pipe, Aegis on him yet again.
They're all in. No one has a buyback besides Faceless Void. Dragon Knight just got his.
Ice, getting some good vision. They're playing around these wards yet again. NIP, if they run up onto high ground here, this is a little bit scary. They're sending in the creeps first, which do give vision there.
Oh man, Faceless Void needs 100 gold for his BKB.
And it looks like he is going to have it now. Maybe they're trying to bait a movement up onto high ground by showing the Void mid, but there are creeps in the base right now, so NIP have to know that this is happening. These creeps hitting into the buildings reveal a lot of information to NIP Fada moving forward.
Faceless Void doesn't have a TP for 10 seconds.
This is really scary. They need to be careful in this fight. Abed, he's up front and center. They don't want to initiate onto the Dragon Knight necessarily, but 3-3 with the Aegis, they can't really kill him off either. Troll net onto Ice, keeping him under control. Fata up front and center yet again. They're still keeping him Hex, thinking about the rolling thunder forward. And are they just going to give up 3-3 here? I mean, he's dropping lower and lower. The shackle's keeping him there. They could go in for the waning rift, but this guy's still holding on to 18 wand charges. He just walks away.
Look at that HP regen, 70 HP regen.
Divine Favor is a hell of a thing.
Well, combined with all of the other sources as well, that's pretty crazy.
He just didn't care.
That was DK ultimate use. That's a fairly big commitment for Fnatic. And oh, MP. Whew.
Wanted to go for those bounties, but NIP were all over him. So a 2,000 gold lead now, 30 minutes into this game for NIP.
I think they should go while the... Okay, yep. I was wondering what they were waiting for. DK ultimate's down.
They just got a haste turn on bat, too.
No, they've got Dark Ascension.
And this haste on bat, we'll see if they can get anything done with it. It's actually about to wear off, though.
They're ganking to their vision. They still have pretty good vision in this area. They see a bunch of Fnatic heroes on that high ground. They've got the sneaky ward in the back of the camp.
Likewise, though, Fnatic have some good vision there as well. But if MP gets caught first, could go pretty tragic.
Oh, Wolf is scouting him.
The only person with buyback on Fnatic right now is the Pango. They're going to smoke up themselves. That was outside of vision, I believe. And we'll see who they can find. They're going to break their smoke. Jumps in, finds him. What? All right, they walked just within range of the other ward that was up on the high ground there, and that allows them to find a kill onto Batrider. They placed their own Tinker ward. And yeah, the pings come out immediately.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
All right. That's more time for Fnatic. Still, you know, their heroes are scaling pretty nicely. Pango's going to be scary in the late game. MP's getting to the point where he's relevant. The multi-Mjolnir's coming online.
Dire's middle tower.
And it does just feel like NIP's heroes are destined to fall off, right? Nightstalker and Batrider are not scary late game cores. The Lycan's still kind of holding his own, but he's the only one really building into more damage as the game goes on.
Lycan's going to run into issue where he can't focus the frontliners. He needs to get back into the backline, try to kill Shadow Shaman or Lich.
Mjolnir going to be up soon, like you were saying, for MP. Of course, the Dragonite as well, having already completed his.
What talent do you guys think DK goes for? He's super close to it.
I don't feel like he needs tankiness if he just piles up his items with the GPM talent.
Yeah,
but,
if he can get like an AC Satanic or like even an AC Daedalus, could be big.
I guess the argument is
strength. It is.
And 3-3, he's hexed right at the start, but they have the last one to the other. Shackle's interrupted by the puck. And meanwhile, they're controlling Abed, but he is so tanky through all of this. The BKB popped as well, and DJ will eventually go down. That's the Aegis expiring on 3-3, so they decide to buy back on both of the supports and see if they can turn this one back around. Shield crash to get down to the low ground, but it's going to be this Nightstalker fully controlled. This Aegis did go down. Yet again, they have nobody to help him out right now as the rest of NIP runs forward, but this Nightstalker is just living through everything, but it's not going to be quite enough for him. The ward trap also onto Lycan, and
nice
they get the chrono on the back line, finding the other two. Fnatic coming back in style in this game number one.
They only used 2 buybacks on 2 supports, which is not that big of a deal. Still, the cores are gonna have buyback, and this Dragonite is tanky enough. That's not the target that you want to go for. You don't really have enough damage to kill him.
Fnatic keep getting to take their fights at the shrine. I think that's like 2 fights where they've actually gotten to activate the shrine, and it's helped them so much. Like DK got down to about 1/3 HP in that fight. They were just running at him, and then he got up under the high ground, got close, and got a little bit of shrine regen, and he was fine.
I mean, can't you just like push up the top lane and keep creeps pressured in and then recall when you need to with Chen? It feels like that's a winning strategy.
Just recall.
Just recall him, yeah.
Yeah, I think they could. I think they could be like applying a little bit more split pressure. The problem is that they want this bottom tier 2. I don't think one more lane of Rax is not going to cut it at this point. I think they need the megas or they need the end. So they have to get to that tier 2 first. And to take that tier 2, unfortunately, they have to take a fight near that shrine. So either that or they have to find a pick-off first. What they could maybe do is, like you're saying, Gabe, just keep shoving top and try and create an opportunity for a Batrider pick-off.
Right.
That would be good.
I guess the worry is that like you could get chronoed.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is
Full
under
Eye of
attack.
Scotty on Bango.
He's so tanky.
That strength talent is pretty nice.
Yeah.
20 strength at level 20.
Yeah, I think Fnatic have just realized that they can kind of tank up out of range from NIP.
Yeah.
Their damage is not scaling anymore.
And with the item build that they're going for, 3 BKBs queued up on their side, that's not going to change anything. They're going to run into a problem where they don't have enough damage to deal with the cores on side of Fnatic.
Fada, again, seeing if he can find any pickoffs here, as Roche is capable of respawning in just about 10 seconds from now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Again, though, I don't think the Aegis helped from that much.
Refresher, I think,
Unfortunately.
could potentially be decent for them.
Yeah.
I guess it's like probably Puck would be the best bet for double coil, but again, it's what are you doing in the duration of that coil?
So what are potentially impactful items for NIP here?
None.
Like
they literally have none. The BKB just finished on Night Stalker. Batrider building his BKB. Lycan has 3,000 gold. BKB queued up. It's a good way to deal with the time dilation after they use their spells, plus a Scotty.
They don't have everybody here. Ice pops the BKB and just runs at them, and in the meantime, MP is starting to make the jump down towards bottom. They do lose the Lich, but in the meantime, they have a Chronosphere heading down towards the south. 3-3 also there, BKB'd as well, and MP on top of PPD going to be able to find that kill. He is coiled, and meanwhile, the 3-3 runaway, he's going to be able to back out of there also. Buyback coming from the Chen, but they've got themselves an ace. This Lycan, they find the Chrono and going to be able to take him down afterwards. Fnatic, all over it.
I don't think Chrono was needed there at all. Dragon Knight was in range to drop a stun. But still, buyback from Peter. Lich is going to be out in 40 seconds. They have no damage. Even if they use coil, there's no one to actually threaten the kill on Fnatic's heroes. They just stand their ground and attack if someone is attacking them.
Yeah, they lassoed the Dragon Knight and it just didn't do anything. Like I almost wonder if Fada should have just dragged the DK up the cliff in that situation and just kept him away from the fight.
He can BKB and blink.
And then unless you just
unless
keep
he
auto-attacking.
popped the BKB before, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Some of the BKB duration got used in the lasso, but yeah.
Looks like Puck realized, and we got some damage issues, is going to be going for the Dagon next. Although he did just blink forward. Abed not going to be able to find the stun out of the phase shift. But it's an 8,000 gold lead for Fnatic, and the story of the past couple of fights has definitely just been the inability to get kills. And Fnatic holding on to their buildings. I mean, you know, the tier 3 tower and Rax are down top, and they still haven't been able to take down this shrine. That's what we were talking about earlier. Let's get ready for the battle around the Roche pit. 8 seconds. Or rather, yeah. It's about to start.
Radiant's top tower.
Jump forward, Pendant's down. They're going to pull back one. This is the Lich. Not a bad pickup to start this fight off, but can they deal with the big tanky cores afterwards? Ice stuck over in the Rolling Thunder, but meanwhile, the Chain Frost only bouncing onto creeps. 3-3 trying to run away. He's in his BKB too. Fnatic are stuck here in the coil, but they don't do anything to these heroes. MP trying to chase. They've got a lot of creeps on this Faceless Void. They just beat away at him. 3-3 trying to run, but is going to be bashed. And meanwhile, the Hex, it's going to come out also onto another. They lose the Batrider. NIP can do nothing.
Yeah, Roche is up. It's Cheese, Aegis, and Refresher. The only hero that they've been killing for the last couple of minutes is Lich.
Is under attack.
It's so weird seeing a game where it gets to the point where Fnatic's positioning is totally irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, all 5 of them could stand on top of each other, in the Firefly, let themselves get Dream Coiled, and I think they would still win the fight. Like, Fnatic didn't even have to chase after anybody there. They just stood there and asked NIP, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You can't kill any of us.
We saw yesterday no damage draft from NIP, and this draft feels like it again. They had a small window where they could have finished the game.
Yeah. I think this draft could have won if the early game had been faster, but the lane swaps and everything, the core Batrider, we said that Fado was the player that they needed to enable and to rally around. Didn't happen, right? Like, I don't know really what the impact of the Batrider has been this game.
Oh, they got him. Look out, Jabs. The fear pulls him in. He's gonna dig on him. Are they actually gonna kill this Lich? I don't know if they're gonna kill this Lich. Guys, they didn't kill the Lich.
Was well done by Jabs. Went to the edge of the Dream Coil and then turned around so he couldn't get Force Staff to break it. Otherwise, that damage might have been enough.
500 damage break.
Yeah, pretty strong.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
MP just easily taking it. He got 6k gold banked up. So, all right, quick butterfly coming along.
He gets the last little value out of that wand, popping the charges, and then sells it off. So MP.
But he still has the Wraith Band.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's important. I guess once he loses the Aegis, you know, good old Wraith Band's coming into the
It's like a
inventory.
comfort blanket, you know? It's a comfort Wraith Band.
Right.
Makes you feel good, having it in your backpack.
He's gonna sell that one now. Just kidding.
Makes you feel like a good player when you lose the Aegis and then you drag something out of your backpack into your inventory.
So what about
Strat.
the coil breaking TPs, Lycan hitting towers? Is that the game plan at this point for NIP?
They might need to switch their strategy because they can't really fight them. Put the Wolf in a base, try to outpush the top lane, then do some fancy stuff. Yeah, shenanigans. That's the word.
I'm a big fan of shenanigans.
How do you kill Dragon Knight? He has 50 armor.
How do you kill Dragon Knight? No, you just don't.
He also has cheese. He's got BKB. This guy, he ain't dying.
Oh my God, Pangolier has full butterfly.
Oh my God.
He also has the swashbuckle talent, so -3 seconds on that. So it's every 5 seconds. I mean, I think the biggest thing that you can say right now for NIP is they just have to hope to rat him out. And they have a lot of ways to break TPs. It's going to be predicated upon Fnatic making some pretty questionable plays, though.
Yeah, I think they're in base just checking Dota buff, what they want to pick for the next game, because this one's over for sure.
Fnatic, 17,000 net worth lead
Trap
now.
that void.
They got him. Actually, he's staying next to one of the wards. I don't think he's actually trapped. He's taking the place of a ward. He's cosplaying the ward.
They're part of his team.
And Lycan, he's pushing out that top lane. They want to try and get some split push working, but it's Fnatic that are going to take the base eventually. Problematic. Pednitz connects. They are going to be able to find that mid set of racks and can go for more if they want to. You need to cut some creep waves here and take down some TPs if at all possible. Faceless Void, lift it up. Still chasing this puck. He's got to be everything and a little bit more past that. And it's the coil on it too. The shenanigans are happening. Back in the base, Lycan going for the tier 4 towers. Can they keep them under control? They're starting to take them down. In some trouble there. The buybacks come immediately though. And Ice wanting to keep them alive. This is what you have to do. 3-3 finding a kill in the meantime. NIP, what more can they do here? They find the Chronosphere, but it's only under the chin. Not quite good enough. Although Puck actually comes out of the phase shift and into it as well. They have mass buybacks and most of the heroes from Fnatic are actually still in their base at this time. It looks like Saksa gonna back out of there, but Abed jumps forward and finds the stun. Triple kill for Abed, and I think that that's gonna about do it unless they can make a miracle happen here. Oh, DJ, he finds his man.
Oh,
They've got the shackles.
They're hunting Lycan.
It's just the two supports.
This'll chase you to kill me. Although Fada TP's in. And now Ice just showed up, and Fada might have come to his death. They have the Sinister Gaze, catching Ace. The bash is abound for Mr. MP. Another round of shackles coming from DJ, and they take him down while Fada just trying to hide on this cliffside here.
They
Oh,
lost.
jumps forward. All right, he might find this kill on a DJ.
That's a dieback from DJ. A minute and a half without him. They took 2 sides. Abed is in their base. Yo, there's a wild Dragonite in your base.
The closest...
He bought Deso.
Force staff him into the fountain. Soxa, that's your only chance.
Look at these right clicks. He's a fiery dragon with a Deso. Yule Scepter, try and stop this man, but you can't stop him. They are going to take the tier 4 towers and, well, the smoke up. They're buying back on anybody that they can. They need to try and find a last to pull him into the fountain, but that's not even going to be enough. Espada gets beaten down. Ace coming with all the summons in the world, but Abed, he doesn't care about anything. He chases forward for more. A triple kill from MP. They eat the cheese from 3-3, try and run, but it was never going to be enough. An ultra kill.
Rampage, they're pinging it out.
Give this man his rampage.
No.
They Yule Scepter to slow it down. And Abed takes it away from him as he's just trying to TP anywhere else. He finds his man, MP, gonna get his rampage. GG's gonna be called.
He had to pop the refresher shard to get the last kill. Chrono his own teammates.
With the Yules, but there you go.
You can see him celebrating right there, waving his mace.
They had the opportunity to win this game, for sure.
100%.
When there was a team fight at the tier 2 tower, if they managed to take that one, they would be able to get 2 sides, get mega creeps, but it was a good fight. Fnatic fought around the shrines most of the time, a lot of region, and fought around the wards. 3 cores actually became unkillable. This is how you itemize. This is a perfect example of the games, how you itemize to win a game.
They played really smart. I like the decisions as well, the level 20 talents on the Pango and the DK, both just going for the strength, 25 strength and 20 strength. They saw exactly the problem that the NIP lineup was going to run into, and they also knew that, hey, if this game goes later, we win by default. So let's just take the talents that win us fights right now, as opposed to like the 150 GPM or the 40 swashbuckle damage, which are cute, but it's much more consistent to just win the game by tanking up in this situation.
So with this win, it does ensure that Fnatic are going to be the team that moves on in the top of the group.
Gambit.
They will play Gambit. But it does get a little bit interesting now, because spoiler alert, everybody out there that doesn't want to hear what's going on in the other games, just close the monitor or whatever you need to do if you're watching on a laptop or whatever. Chaos won game number 1 against Alliance, and NIP losing this game means that they have to win if they want to get a chance at the upper bracket. And even then, it's going to go into the tiebreaker scenarios. We haven't done the math on that yet, but we'll do that in the break and let you guys know what's going on. But stay tuned, because Group B looks like it could potentially get interesting as we wait for the second game here of NIP facing off against Fnatic. Stay tuned.